here, Concierge Health Advisor. Well, this is part of the Stop the Gym, Stop the Exercise series. I forget what I called it. Stop exercising. Oh, yeah, anyway, the series. Here we go. I've already done an intro, a quick spiel. If there's one-off listeners, because I bet you there'll be more one-off listeners than repeat listeners, let me tell you, because all this, what I'm trying to advocate here, stop exercising, people are going to go, what the hell? And they're going to switch off. But for the sake of the possible continued listeners, or someone that's going to painstakingly listen to this one effort, exercise isn't killing us, but it's not doing us much good either. But I'd also qualify that in saying that if you are an elite athlete, if you exercise a lot and over decades, you won't live longer than the average. And that, my dear viewer, listener, is no different to doctors with an average age of high 50s. Athletes, elite athletes, as the insurance companies think, because they got skin in the game, elite athletes, average life expectancy, mid-60s, that's being generous. Billionaires, let's do billionaires. Billionaires' average life expectancy, according to Forbes 2012, 66. There's 3,000 billionaires on the planet, I found out last week sometime. So exercise. It's killing us if it's reducing our life expectancy by a decade and a half. Why is it so? Why is exercise killing us? Because on top of, if you're sedentary, we really should be living to 120. The average sedentary Westerner, let's say 77 at the moment, and there's calls for higher life expectancy going forward. I don't believe so. There's this metric of your decrepit expectancy. Ooh, what's that? I thought, well, what's that too? There's this particular metric where your chronic quality of life expectancy is in early 60s. So that's when your quality of life goes down. You can't really function and work is difficult. You're on multiple medications. That's the sort of definition they use. And the metric is early 60s. So early 60s to mid to late 70s, a decade and a half of bad quality of life, a decreased quality of life health-wise. And athletes, athletes, you see a lot of 60-plus-year-old athletes out there. There's a lot of 60-plus-year-old triathletes. Yeah, I get it. They're fit, they're thin. Tell you what, they're looking a bit shabby. And the reason why they're looking a bit shabby, no, it's not genes, it's part of getting old, it's the stresses of the exercise they're doing. No. They're looking a bit shabbier than the average because they're more micronutrient deficient. There's probably a few that are looking smashing, and those probable few, unknowingly or knowingly, are probably well nourished. They're probably taking more micronutrients than the average, and very few of those are taking all the micronutrients that we require. And there's around 90 that are declared essential for survival. And it's not just humans. All vertebrates actually need 90 plus. essential micronutrients, or they're dead. And that goes down the line of on that sort of concept, that methodology. When you're deficient in any one of, or a cluster of, or different classes of those micronutrients, at least 60 to 70 plus that we know of, minerals, rare earths, trace elements, all that sort of thing. There's 60 plus minerals, at least 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids. There might be 15, 16, who knows, but we know for sure that we need 12 essential amino acids and 2 essential fatty acids. I'm not sure about omega-9, the elements of omega-9 yet, but the LA in the omega-6, the ALA omega-3, they're essential. So there's 2 essential fatty acids. So if you're deficient in chromium, vanadium and zinc, for example, you got a high likelihood, I think it's probably 100%, because 100% of people that are obese, and there's an autopsy done, and if they're checking for micronutrients, they're either absent or deficient especially in chromium, vanadium especially, and then zinc is maybe a cofactor, but there are other cofactors that we probably don't know about. It's just an indicator, it's a tell, it's a signature, it's a marker. If you're obese, you're deficient in chromium, vanadium, possibly zinc as well. Don't just go out there and buy those 3 and expect miracles. And this is where exercise comes in. We think that eating right, whatever right is, I'll tell you what right is in a moment, but if you're exercising to lose weight, yeah, lose weight versus calories in, calories out, all right, it works. Immediate and intermediate term. Longer term, where when the stats are taken 5 years out, 98% of people on an exercise routine, or let's face it, people exercise to lose weight. Yes, there are the athletes out there. I get it. I used to be an athlete. People still think I am with the physique I've got at the moment. But that, my dear listener, viewer, the physique I got at the moment is sedentary. I'll qualify that. I do 60 seconds every second day now. 60 seconds of a set of push-ups, a set of shoulder press and bicep curls in one hit. That's all I do. 60 seconds every second day, 30 seconds average a day. I'm not talking about minutes, 30 seconds, all right? Anyway, that's just to test conditioning and all that sort of thing. Yes, exercise does have benefits, as in get out to move and climb the flight of stairs and that sort of thing, but I'm not talking about exercising for 30 minutes a day, cardio, 1.5 hour gym sessions. No. If you're an athlete, fine, but if you're an athlete, you better be supplementing even more. Even if you're sedentary, you need to be supplementing in this day and age, because we are micronutrient deficient. There's a whole complex that goes behind that. It all started 5,000 years ago when we started eating wheat as our primary go-to, our staple grain, because of its economic utility, storage. You can store it for years. Per unit of currency, it costs less to grow and all that sort of thing. But gluten, which is wheat, barley, rye, and oats, just because the protein, the pro-inflammatory cytokine in oats is called gliadin. Oh, it's not gluten. Well, it is. So oats is part of that gluten complex. Okay, so the whole gluten complex is preventing us from fully absorbing everything we need. And the longer you live, the less you absorb, and that's why we die. That's why we die. it's not normal to. Oh, it's normal to get into your 70s, get decrepit, and then die close to 80. Yes, we get it. There's a few 100-year-olds out there. We get it. I get it. Certainly do. But we can all be centenarians if we stop the gluten, also oils, sugars, nitrates, but that's an extended version of what I'm trying to get at, and I don't want to go too far into this being 10 minutes plus now. So, when we exercise, it's not just fluids and electrolyte loss and take a bit of electrolyte sports drink and we'll be right. No, it's vital micronutrient loss, and the longer you exercise, the more chance you have of dying younger. That's why athletes are dropping dead all the time, even school-age ones. It's not genetic. The most likely thing that's happening there is a selenium deficiency issue, which is only a marker, a signature. It's more likely many nutrient deficiencies. Okay. I know it's sacrilege to be saying this, but I'm not credentialed to toe the company line, toe the ideological line, toe the mainstream healthcare complex line anymore. I'm out of mainstream health because I've been suspended as a registered nurse, maybe to be deregistered. I don't know if I'll be going back, so I might be deregistered very, very soon. So that's why I can speak up, and I challenge people to look into this even more. But what's your source? Why can't I be classed as a source? Okay, 12,000 plus hours of independent research, getting myself out of having obesity, of half my body weight, got rid of half a dozen chronic diseases. And it's all the understanding of micronutrients. You're a quack. Let's compare notes in 10 years, 30 years, even compare notes now. If you want to see how I used to look, there's videos how I used to look in the celebrity series. So just imagine doubling your body weight at my weight now. Some people say I'm scrawny, but but anyway. So basically, if you're exercising, you're digging yourself an early grave. You might feel good because we all talk about the whole endorphin thing and looking good and getting laid and increasing your sexual market value and all that sort of thing. That's fine, but there's a reason why you start to look shabby after the age of 40, and that's ongoing nutrient deficiencies. We get more deficient. The reason why we go grey and wrinkly is nutrient deficiency issues. And if you're an athlete, you go greyer quicker, wrinklier quicker. I started late in this micronutrient game, and I'm probably looking a bit shabby for some, but I'm 49 now, so I think personally that I'm looking better than the average 49-year-old. And I started late. I only started like barely 1.5 years ago on supplementing. So I started late, considering. So you can't really backpedal that much. I've got rid of those half a dozen chronic diseases and obesity. So that's something. But I could be less wrinkly. I could be less grey. I think the greys are showing on the beard, but I was also this sort of grey in my beard 5 years ago too. So anyway, so if you're an athlete, if you're going to the gym, if you're a weekend warrior, if you're pounding the pavement to keep your slim physique, or if you're an overweight person wanting to be slim, 98% chance you'll just get fatter. And I was one of those. And yeah, I get it. Let's see, in 3.5 years, if I get fatter. I doubt it. I doubt it, because I was a fat bloke trying to spin this stuff. So nah, mate, it's all good. I've started this and I'll be good. And yeah, I'm good. I'm now at a decent BMI, body size, yada yada. And health is not just about weight loss. If you're restricting and exercising, double whammy of nutrient deficiencies and the downstream health consequences. Eventually death, earlier death, 1.5 decades on average. For some people, some elite athletes, several decades less. Yeah. So, if you're an athlete, that's fine. If you want to keep on working out and have a Instagram body and six-pack abs and that sort of thing, that's fine too. Yeah. But this whole exercise complex feeds into the whole, if you're a hard labourer in the sun, sweating like a bricky's labourer, a bricklayer, right? Yes, I'm an Aussie. Other tradesmen, hauling hay, working on a farm, all that sort of thing, you need to be especially supplementing as well. And what sort of supplements? Well, if there's any people interested, I've got the whole concierge health advisor platform service at your disposal as well. It's not for everyone because it's going to cost you, but it's also free. So the micronutrients that I do advocate, they'll be in the show notes. And but there's a whole series, like if you want to know more, there's a whole 140 plus podcasts of 140 episodes in a podcast series, unraveling slowly but surely. A lot of rambling in there, but a lot of good content. Very low quality, low production value. Yeah, I get it. Together with this, right? Yeah, I get it. I know. And if you really want to know how to improve your health, and for many, improving your health is losing weight. And if you're obese, it's a indicator, a telltale that you're micronutrient deficient. As a younger person, if you're an older person that's slim and exercises and you're grey and wrinkly, what's grey and wrinkly? Well, that's micronutrient deficiency as well, particularly with copper. Copper deficiency gives you the grey hair, wrinkles, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, yes. And but that's only a tell. Copper is only one of those micronutrients. There might be cofactors, right? So you need to be taking all the micronutrients that we require, and there's 90 plus. And the link in the show notes here is a nutrient supplement supplier that understands this deal. They actually started the whole concept, and when I looked into it, before I jumped in, probably a bit under 1,000 hours to substantiate, should I do this? That was part of my 12,000 plus hours. I've been trying to prove myself wrong for another 1,000 hours, and the 10,000 hours before those 2,000 hours was trying to get out of my chronic health state, like many in the West and beyond are catching up with the West now. Because dams, electricity, what's that got to do with it? Yes, that's an extended program. That'll be a very extended episode, which will go into at least half an hour more, possibly a few hours more when you have all the side stories and vignettes and little case studies here and there. But even this has gone too far, so I'm going to wrap up. Thanks for listening as part of the stop. stop the exercise, stop exercising series, or stop the gym. I don't even know what I've called it because it's only the second episode. So that's it. Bye for now.